With 183 records, 216 world record checkpoints, and over 1 million points on KSF, Caffrey needs no introduction. He is the number one surfer in the world, and this is his interview. You'll be impressed both by his surfing, which you're about to watch, and his humility. Enjoy.
Yeah,
It, it,
yeah.
with- COVID is the reason why a lot of these surfers got good too. A lot of them just blew up with all the time that they had.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's why I probably got good to begin with, because I already had a lot of that free time to begin with, so I could just play more than other people usually did.
You did it before 2019. You were rank 1 by 20. You got rank 1 way too like 2019, but then you hit 1 million points in 2021. Is that correct?
I think so, yeah, that sounds accurate.
Do you think that that solidifies you as a rank 1, or do you think that your position could still one day be taken over?
It could definitely be taken. It just takes people farming me. People just take most of my WRs, my points will slowly fall down. But it's not like it's going to be an easy thing to do.
Right. Who's been challenged you, like who's been taking the most of your records recently? Is it 274? Who do you know who it is?
As of the past couple of days, it's been Goosh.
And then you clap back almost every time. I don't think I've seen you not retake a record from the past few records that have been taken.
I haven't retaken TAC or Mason really took yet. I don't know if I will.
Oh,
It had been 274, but now past week since Goosh started playing again, it's been him.
a lot of people
We
have
have
been
very
trying
similar
to.
map taste.
Ooh, you and Kush or you and 274?
Me and Goosh.
Is that like a little bit more old school style, less of the modern stuff?
I think so, yeah. Because the maps, I think we've been playing like monkey with a gun maps. I don't think he's made a map in a very long time.
I don't know. Now, speaking of long time, Caffrey, do you remember when you first started surfing? All the way back in the day. What is your earliest surf memory?
I started back in 2015, like early 2015. I don't really remember too much about beginning. I think like the earliest surf memory I have was completing Messamine
So
because I
mine.
was just doing it on like, you know how it is, like a public CS:GO server where everyone's chatting and hyping each other up and stuff, and I was just competing with a few other people who were also like around my skill level at the time. And we were trying to complete, and it was felt good to finish. I have been playing like console games pretty much like 5 years prior to that, and then I pretty much learned how to use a mouse and keyboard in Surf because that's pretty much the first game I played
Oh, that's
coming to
interesting.
PC.
So most people start playing Counter Strike and then they find a
I
surf
mean, I
server and
played Counter Strike, but I played a couple games maybe because the guy that I originally built a PC to play with ended up like not playing that much. I didn't really have any other friends on PC, so I kind of just um ended up playing Surf. I found Surf somehow. I don't know how. It just happened. Yeah.
nowadays is not the same. These lobbies are pretty quiet, my man.
I mean,
But
console was really easy to make friends.
100%, 100%.
PC, I don't know. I feel like I haven't made that many. Like outside of the Surf community, I haven't made that many friends. That's probably just me, but I'm probably gonna go out of my way to do it.
At the end of the day, you switched over. You switched over from console to PC. You played a lot of CS:GO, and do you remember what server it was on?
It was on VG Gaming, I think, at the time. I don't know if that's like just a VG or if it was VEEGEE. But yeah, I played that for like a year, and pretty much where I went to surf. I think it was a 64 tick server. It wasn't like high tech or anything.
And then eventually, you switch over from CS:GO to KSF. Why'd you switch over, and did you know about KSF beforehand?
I think I went from VG to ZTS, which was another Australian server, and then a couple of my friends got banned from there, so we went to KSF on CS:GO. Back then, I think it was a bit more popular and a bit more maintained. I don't know. My friends also ended up getting. I don't know if we got banned there or not, but I don't know. Somehow we ended up on CSS, and I knew of like KSF records and stuff at that point, and I was trying to get better at Surf at that point, so I switched over to CSS for a bit just to see what it was like. Because even back then, it was like argued as the surf server to play on.
Right. And that mystique has maintained the entire time. There's never been a moment it's been a continuous KSF as the top server to be in since at least like 2012.
From my understanding, yeah, up until like maybe now, just because of Momentum Mod and SurfHeaven and
Now,
like
wait
other
a
stuff,
minute.
I guess.
Are you flipping? Or are you telling me right now? Are you telling me that
I'm not
SurfHeaven is
flipping.
more?
I'm just saying there's an argument, I guess. I'm not saying SurfHeaven is more competitive or it's less competitive. I don't know. I don't play it, but at least from when I moved from CS:GO to KSF, there wasn't really that many established servers, and I feel like SurfHeaven is definitely like. I feel like it deserves some respect with how established it is now.
It's coming up. I mean, at the very least, the way that they're updating their plugins, new maps all the time. They're a maintained server. And so is KSF. You guys are making fixes all the time, and we just got like what 4 new maps in the past 2 weeks. Is that? Or do you
Yeah, I
have
think
a hand in
Zazboo's
that?
been.
Oh,
No, I think Zazboo started uploading maps because he was bored. He fixed Rebel Scars. I think before it wasn't able to be added for some reason, and he fixed it and got added.
that one is a little bit. How do people like that map, but they don't like Anubis, like NOOP? Rebel Scaz is literally Rebel Resistance
Rebel
copy paste.
Scars probably just
Come on.
CS:GO memories.
Oh my god. Unfair. All right. I think
I
Anubis is
imagine
amazing.
because you have like Rolgar, Tux, Josh, who all came from CS:GO, who probably
Yeah.
already all played that map, who enjoyed it. So it's probably just like memories.
We did touch on this really important topic, SurfHeaven versus KSF. I just want to say that tier list that I made for content, like it kind of died down very quickly. But oh man, the debate
I
about
feel like you knew what you were
Liquidator.
doing, though.
You knew what I was doing. I thought
I
that.
feel like you knew you were like tier list. This is gonna get viewers, and it did. I mean,
Oh,
it worked.
100%. Wait a minute. What do you mean that I knew what I was doing? You're insinuating. Explain. What are you saying?
I feel like you knew
Bullshit.
that a tier list would bring a lot
Bullshit.
of viewers.
You're lying. You're lying. It's fake. Nick, can you actually repeat what you said? I'm sorry.
All right. Like people have done a tier list in the past. It's always controversial because people have different opinions. So
Yeah.
the idea of doing one, and you were the first to do it in a while, like a year or two. I don't know, unless I'm missing someone. It is going to bring viewers, and I feel like you probably knew that, and that was. I mean, it's good. It's good for your stream.
But I wasn't trying to start this debate about Liquidator and Mega Q Chick. That was the whole. It was back and forth about that. Uh, I think that they're incredible. I just can't compare them. It is like physically impossible to compare them.
I mean, I can't compare them. Like I think they have potential. Other top surfers think they do or don't. It's not really comparable because they don't play against each other. Like we don't play against them, I guess, in a sense.
And people have mentioned that Liquidator is able to come on and get times that other people can't beat. So he currently has like it's either 8 or 10 world records, which is crazy. That's enough. That's been enough for some surfers to get KSF member, hasn't it?
It's nowadays it's more about if people like you or if you have like personal connection. I think more than skill. If people like you and you can get them to vote yes, then you can get in with like a WR or two, or maybe even none. I don't know.
Would you mind if I brought us back to the line of thought that we were on? I just want to know more about your early career. In particular, I want to know what were the most important changes you made to become a better surfer. You mentioned some of those to me last time. What can you do to help us to become better surfers?
They're like all the obvious ones, like save blocking. But maybe I wouldn't suggest people save block like I do, because I don't think I do it efficiently. I save block sometimes like ramp to ramp, which isn't the greatest way to learn a map. If you can save block like sections, and then once you're confident with a section, you go back a save lock to like the previous section and then save lock from there to the end. I think that's the best way to do it. I'm just lazy and never really do it like that. There's obviously turbines. Being able to lower your yaw speed, which you used to not be able to do in CSGO, but I think you can now with external plugins.
Right.
Helped like a lot. And then just like watching people that are better than you at the time and just I don't know, without trying to be like annoying, like asking them, I guess, questions if you don't understand something. Like understanding surf is a lot to do. Like I think that's why Levi is unquestionably like better than everyone else, because I think he just understands surf better than everyone else.
Whoa. Have you ever heard him explain surf or talk about surf?
To a degree, but I kind of have a goldfish memory, so I don't remember too much of it. But he's a smart kid.
He's really, really young.
Yeah.
It's called fluid intelligence, right? Your ability to learn something. It could just also be that he was a little bit younger as well. Marble was also very young when he started. I'm assuming user Nate is very young. That's a really good period to try to learn something. And they happen to choose surf.
Yeah.
They're also incredibly talented. Did you feel like at that time, did you have such a buzz that people thought you were a really quick riser? What was that like?
I feel like I wasn't a quick riser though.
Hmm.
At least on KSF, it took me a while because I started in my first WR on KSF was in 2016, and it took me to 2019 to get rank 1. So that's like 3 years.
But so there was in 2016 when you got your first world record. What was the response? Do you happen to remember that?
Probably just like, who the fuck is this random guy? Like
No.
the same as it is now.
Yeah.
Like some random gets a WR and you're like, who is that? It's not like I don't think it's like in a disrespectful way. It's just like new names don't come along very often.
And there's sort of like did they cheat it? Did they? Oh, well, look, it's the same name again. They got another one. Did it eventually come to the
At the time, I was going for very free WRs. I think like, well, it doesn't really matter because right after I got it, I got annihilated. But I feel like people were probably like Prelude was probably the WR I got where, even though I minus all of it, where like people probably to some degree thought about me more than my prior WRs that were kind of shit.
right?
And then Niantic's just GG the WR for like 2 years.
It's ruthless. It's ruthless what you guys have to go through. But who could
Part of
farm
the
you,
game
Caff?
though. If people don't, I guess essentially take your WRs and try and make you better, I don't know how you improve.
That is a necessary part of it. You have
Because I don't have the
100.
motivation to go redo a map that I already have WR for half the time. Like sometimes I do, but most of the time I don't. It's only when someone takes it from me that like I go back to it.
It keeps things in motion a little bit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You have 176 world records. I should have checked. Do you know?
I think it's 180 something.
180.
I think so. I'm not in the KSF Discord at the moment, so I can't check. It's 183, but that number's a little bit skeptical because I've been doing some new maps recently. I don't think they should count, but we'll just say 180.
180 flat over the course of 5
Sure.
years. Wow. It would be wrong to say you're not the most well-versed surfer. You know the most maps the best compared to everybody else. Does that check out?
Yes, but
Yes.
no, because I think if I had to go replay them all again, I definitely need to relearn them because it's easy to forget. Like I would be able to complete them, but to do them on a WR pace, I think I'd need to relearn most of them.
The original question we were talking about, what were the most important changes you made? There were two that you mentioned last time. Maybe we just go quickly through them. The first is the 144 hertz monitor compared to 60 hertz. Can you tell me just a little bit about that?
I mean, it's just like day and night. Really, it was. I don't remember too much. I just ended up. I got it, and I started getting like higher rank times. I guess over like, I don't know what the time frame was. Maybe it was like a couple weeks later. I started getting like rank 2s and rank 3s. And I don't think I was getting like too many WRs at that point. But like those rank 2s and rank 3s just eventually pushed me to rank 1.
Could this possibly have been at a time where world records were easier, or were they already really hard to get? Like right now, it's impossible to get a world record for the vast majority of
They were
people.
definitely like easier because as surf goes on, people get better. They're definitely harder now in a sense because of that. I don't know, it's hard to say. They're definitely harder now because they've been more grinded. But at the time, the skill level was lower. The skill ceiling was lower. So I don't know. Maybe.
Now, there was a second piece of hardware. Now, hopefully I have a picture on screen. It is your entire desk is a mouse pad. True or false?
It is
The
to a
entire
degree.
thing.
No, not anymore. I have a big desk now. I don't actually use that much of a mouse pad, to be honest. I run out
Huh.
of mouse space a lot. That's why I require, I surf with my wrist, which I don't advise people do, because anyone that's watched me stream knows how dumb my posture is and how
No.
bad my wrist looks when I surf. But yeah, I never really learned to surf with my arm properly, so I kind of just play with my wrist because it's comfortable.
I'm assuming it's giving you some stability to have it there. I wonder. I've never really tried like that. I almost, as soon as I saw a mill surfing, I've just tried to lower my sensitivity as much as possible and just use my arm. Do you do the same thing, or do you do a
Yeah.
lot of wrist movements?
Do a lot of wrist movement. I appreciate with my wrist. I probably surf a bit with my arm on the table a bit, but for the most part, my mouse is down the bottom of my mouse pad.
But I mean, that gives you precision. Like your wrist is more. Oh god, your wrist is more precise than your arm. I feel
Just what
like.
I'm more used to, I think. Because
Mm,
I never really put time into trying to learn to use my arm to surf, I guess. I feel like I'd be better at lower tier maps if I did, but I don't really care anymore. It's whatever.
exactly. Caffrey, what was your first world record?
It was antimatter.
Antimatter. Classic. White off gray. 6 stages. Just a really well balanced map. I don't think if you were to try this, you would be very annoyed if you are a decent surfer. And especially save lock will save you time on those later stages. Do you remember when? So that would have been 2016 that you got that world record.
Yeah, it was sometime late 2016.
And I know we're talking about goldfish memory. Do you remember, could you save lock the world record and you were like, I know I can beat this? And then you went for it. Do
I
you remember?
think back then save lock wasn't as developed, so you couldn't
Ooh,
save lock times.
I see.
Unless I'm forgetting, I don't think you could save lock a WR. You could save lock, but you couldn't really tell. The only way you could tell, I guess, was doing stages and comparing to the CCP. I knew I could WR it because it was very free. It's still a very free WR. If someone wants to try and take it, it's got 3 seconds left on it. But back then, I think because of how it looked and how I think mainly just because of how it looked, it's a very bright map and it's kind of not nice to look at. It was just not very contested.
Mm. But you identified that, and that identification is part of both of the process of getting records, but also improving the times on the server. It's good that people sweep like that. I just need to let you know, you have just sent 5 surfers at least into the pit. They're gonna go grind that record. All 5 of them are terrible, but they're gonna spend 20 hours on that map trying to get a world record. They're gonna get G1. Okay, you have just condemned them to a G1. But
It's a fun map. Horse Feathers is a good mapper.
ooh, is that Nostromo and Clavius?
Nostromo is a very decent map.
Are they?
I don't know about Clavius. It's good, but I think it's a bit awkward at parts.
No, but now I have to confirm that's even him. People are probably screaming at me. Wait a second. Well, he did make
I
antimatter
think
too.
it is. Horse
Clavius.
Feathers.
Okay, thank God. Salient too. Very interesting
Salient,
maps.
those are decent maps.
You were just running. Were you running Salient 2 recently?
I was running Salient 1.
What's the one with the crazy end skip that you have to just the head check thing?
It's Salient 1.
That
I
was
feel like
just
someone will eventually do that in a run. Honestly, before I started playing it, I thought it was kind of unrealistic. But you can kind of just send a really shitty run. You could be +1 on the WR, and if you land that skip, you can still -1. So if you have enough patience to just try and do it, you probably can.
Surf looks modern. Tell me a little bit about that record.
I just played it a lot in 2019, I think, late 2019. At the time, I was on 99 WRs, and I wanted my 100th to be something kind of special. And I think I chose Looks Modern, and I kind of just sent it. I tried to do all the skips that I knew of, which didn't turn out too well for me in the end, because there are new ones now. I was happy with the run I ended up landing at the time. The overall consensus of a run. I think it ended up getting second best run or third best run of the year.
Ooh, wait. So that would have been Wait a minute. 2018?
2019.
2019?
I think it may have been second. I think it lost to Omnific, which is fair enough.
Roldar's Omnific run. Oh, feels bad, dude. What are you gonna do?
That's all good. It was a decent WR.
And it includes new skips. Wait a minute. Maybe they weren't new, but the stage 1 skip, the stage 4 skip.
They weren't new. They just weren't done in a run because they're both pretty tedious. They're pretty much just like head check skips. We have to cut it pretty well to land them.
And then stage 5, which is a challenge in itself. But I like that stage because I felt like the ending head check was not actually as punishing as previously thought, especially if you get the safe locket.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty easy tier 6 nowadays.
Pretty easy. Okay,
I think people just get flustered over it because of how the concept is of the map. I feel like it could maybe be a decent trick surf map, honestly. If you remove the filters and just let people do what they want.
Beetle tried to convince me that it was tier 7. And that he thought that Valpect was tier... I think Valpect might be tier 7.
I think they're all tier 6. I don't know what the tier 7 maps are at the moment. But I think they're all maps that just have a lot of leniency for mistakes. Like the hard thing about Valpect, I guess, is the spin.
About bro, what
It's insane. What do you mean? What's the hard part about Valpect?
No, it's insane. It's insane. It's literally Syria again into Royal. Syria again, bro. That's
but Syria again
shit.
With extra speed.
And
then Royal without the beams. So it's easier.
It's eating dog shit with extra salt, okay? It doesn't matter, bro. It literally doesn't. Okay? I get what you're saying though. What is tier 7 is sort of unclear with why not 2 and off skill being removed. If they had stayed in, tier 7 is pretty wide. One of the real questions becomes Sinsane 2, right? Being tier 7 or tier 8. Do you have an opinion on that?
I don't think Sinsane 2 is... I mean, the standard for tier 8, I guess, would be, like, for linear, I guess, would be Corruption. I don't think Sinsane 2 is harder than Corruption. So I think Sinsane 2 is good to stay in tier 7 as, like, a high tier 7 on, like, the end of the scale.
Well, what becomes of Deity, then? Do you think Deity's harder than Corruption?
I think Deity's the easiest tier 8.
Easiest tier 8. Are Sinsane 2 and Deity comparable?
I don't know, because Deity, I feel like, is just for one hard stage. And it's just the end. And that weave is kind of hard. I'm not going to lie. I played that map. I think I locked it off stream for an hour. I fired up my stream and I somehow finished it twice within an hour.
No.
I still feel like I got lucky. I've never gone back to the map. So maybe my opinion's just biased because maybe I got lucky twice. But I feel like that map's not that bad.
So you spent literally 2 hours on it. 2 hours. Come on. What about Sinsane 2? How long did that take you?
Sinsane 2 took a while, I think.
Case in point.
I was streaming. Yeah, because it's. I'm not. I don't know, they're not like really comparable stage to linear maps. I don't know. Sinsane 2 again just has a lot of places where you can make mistakes. Like on my run, I think I ended up landing. I went into Alentra fine, I was doing great, and then I turned off one of the ramps and lost like 700 speed. But because the first just ramp is Maxwell, I was able to keep going. There's just a lot of places where even if you fuck up, you can keep going. Whereas, I don't know, Corruption, to a degree, you can reset your run a lot, but nowhere near as much as Insane 2.
How much you can make mistakes. So some people have said that Raffaello, the tier 7 map by Cray Allington, is actually pretty easy because you can make lots of mistakes. It's not just that Corruption is a minute longer, it's that you can make less mistakes per unit.
Yeah, like in my run, I landed on Corruption. I did the start pretty bad, but I did like one ramp pretty well, and I just reset my run.
Really?
But like if you did the start bad and then you also did that ramp really bad, your run will just be dead on the spot.
Corruption is on another level. There are only 30 people who have completed that, and you're one of them. Would you ever consider running that map for world record, or is that too far outside?
Nope.
Okay, you got it. I ask everybody that question. Don't worry. Okay.
I can't compete with Emil and Levi on unit surf. I'm not. I'm not kidding myself.
But you are experienced in long maps. Surf Overgrowth 2 is another map you mentioned to be one of your most important records. Can you tell me about that record?
Again, it was just something I grinded a lot at the time. It received a really good outcome, like 120K views on YouTube,
Woo.
and I don't know, at the time I was really happy with the run I landed. Not so much now, but as time goes on, I guess people get better. You realize there's more available on the map, but I just like went for a lot. Like I ramp bugged the second last ramp the day before on a run very similar to the run I ended up landing. And that ramp bug I'd never gotten before. So it was, as you can imagine, pretty tilting. But I just kept going somehow. I don't know. I had more mental back in the day for surf.
And I think there was a little bit more of a reward for it than there is now, unfortunately. But was that a part of it too?
Well, I was also up and coming. I guess you could say I was hungrier, I guess, to prove myself.
But even that the run had the potential to get 120K views to me is crazy. And there was a period in
I didn't
2020.
I didn't think it would get that. Like I didn't run the map thinking it would. I knew it would be a good map to like land on KSF records. Same with like Lookspot, and that's probably a bit of why I did that. But I didn't think it would do as well as it did.
There was another one, a lesser known map, that you also mentioned was incredibly important to you, Surf Tundra. Uh, One thing you mentioned was how much you had to fight for that world record. Do you think you can tell us a little bit about the story of your world record on Surf Tundra?
I took the WR off system. I got a KSF upload because I thought the WR was good. Little did I know I was wrong. Sometime later, I think Koosh beat me, or Koosh beat the WR. So I had to retake off Koosh. And then I was like, cool, WR is good. Then Emil beat me. And I was like, okay, I don't think I can beat that.
Ooh.
Time went by, I ended up rebeating it. Hold on, let me have a look at the WR, at the IS. I don't know if I don't remember if I took it off Emil twice or not. I don't know I don't remember. I may have taken it off Emil twice or once. I don't know. But I had to grind a lot for the map, and I'm pretty happy with how the run turned out. Like still to this day.
And one thing you noted that was just so unique is that your stage 3 time is only 0.06 off of the world record checkpoint.
At the time it was At the time it was
Uh,
06 off the checkpoint.
Still,
Now the CP is like maybe a little bit quicker, not too much quicker, but a little bit.
Emil is a heavy hitter. Like, there's no question. He's also got Cyberwave. He had corruption, if he doesn't still have it. Having somebody who's so good at optimizing like that be your competitor, does it motivate you, or like basically after he took it that one time, you just gave up because you thought that it was GG?
I could have been burnt out at the time. I don't know what it was, but I don't know what was the. Let me have a look at the time frame of when he took it and when I retook it, because I think there was a decent amount of time that passed. So he took it. His name was still Cymex at the time. He took it in April. Okay, yeah. So I took it off email once. I took it back like 5 months later. So I think at the time, yeah, I was pretty demoralized. I thought he had landed a pretty decent run because he minus it by like 0.5. And I, at the time, thought my run was already good. So I kind of just accepted defeat.
But it's never over. You can always there's always a way.
Yeah,
Caff,
you just have to be committed enough.
I think it's a perfect time to move to some viewer questions. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, the first one. I
Do it.
think it's a good one. It's a good one. I want to go right to Mako. What are your thoughts on posture and the importance of ergonomics in general? We had a big discussion with Habitat and Morning about that, and they were the bearers of a warning that you could really hurt yourself. What have you
You definitely
experienced? Yeah.
can.
Oh yeah.
Um, I don't experience pain so much, but I definitely have, obviously, just from how much I've surfed, like, not like super limited, but like I have less motion in my right wrist than I do in my left. And just how I sit in my chair, as people have made fun of me over the years, and it's rightfully so. No, it's not like a bad make fun of. It's justified. I sit like an idiot. Um, it's important to have a good posture. It's just unfortunately sometimes you just play really bad if you're not comfortable. I mean, nowadays I kind of try to sit a little bit more upright. I definitely in the past have not really worried about posture, and I think it's definitely something you should care about more.
We need like a mental image. Are you back or forward? Like if you sort of look at me on stream, I'm hunched over. I'm a hunchback. Are you like slouched?
I used to lean back and like put my neck down like I'm focusing.
Wait, okay, wait a minute. So you're hold on. I'm trying to put myself. Is your back like on the bottom of your chair a little bit?
Like my back is not like
Is butt forward or
yeah,
backward?
kinda
Where's my butt supposed to be?
backwards.
Backwards.
Your
Backwards?
back your butt I guess would be like the front of the chair.
Front, no, yep. In school, this was perma where I was, so that's not terrible. I mean, being hunched over is the gamer stereotype, right? Where you get a hunchback after years, but that's not what you're experiencing.
I don't think so.
No.
But it's definitely important to care about, and I would if I could go back and change it, I definitely would.
Do you think it's too late to change? Do you not see, even just like as a computer user?
No, I don't think it's definitely never too late to change. But like if I could go back and not do it to the degree that I used to, I would. Same with like my wrist and how I surf now. Like, I don't really know how my wrist bends the way it does. It's definitely not a good thing.
So if you're a young surfer, please take care of yourself, take breaks, and try to just do sit up straight, feet flat on the floor. Use your arm more than your wrist, please. Just you're doing yourself a favor. The next question comes from that was from Mako. If you didn't already know, that was from Mako. The next one is from Frag. What is the most challenging map you've attempted? And I think if you want it to be a world record or just a map completion, we'll take either.
I mean, the most challenging map I've probably attempted would be Anubis, unfortunately, because I haven't done it. That being said, I haven't really put a huge amount of time into that map to try and learn it properly. We'll just do WR. Hardest WR I've attempted.
There's been a lot of those, so that might be a hard one.
That might be a hard one, yeah. I guess hardest thing I've attempted would be Fearly before, because I have put a decent amount of time into that, and I still haven't done it.
These are like outside of your area of expertise. They're stretch goals to be really good in this other form. Like you're not a super technical or a super unit. You are more of a balanced sort of jack of all trades type of surfer, right?
Yeah, I'm not the best at either. I'm just decent at both, I guess, to a degree. Like, I don't think I'm that good of a unit surfer.
It's more of these like but it's old school maps, and these also happen to tend to be the hardest because they're the oldest, right? Like the maps that you're running have been ones that were run for by every legend for a decade. Like Looks Modern has been around forever.
I mean, to a degree, but Looks Modern was also really uncontested. Like, Looks Modern, no one had done, like, any of the skips I had done. People that had ran the map in the past, like, had quit running it and never really landed a run they were going for. And, like, same with, like, a lot of the older maps is they're not always popular with everyone because they are early maps and they sometimes do have annoying parts in them or stuff that is awkward. So they're not always the most contested. So I don't think that's like Sidewave, for example, only came out a couple of years ago, and that is more contested. I think some of the newer maps definitely are up there with being more contested than I would say, for like example, Looks Modern or Overgrowth 2.
And it depends on people's preferences. Some people just don't like unit. Do you get nervous while you're on world record pace? So imagine tomorrow. Well, first of all, you just got the world record on Gary Barlow. Honestly, like looks like a good map by Apex and Wraith. Do you get nervous on a run like that?
Not really, because it's a new map. I do still get nervous though. A lot of the time, it kind of kills good runs. Unfortunately, I don't even know how to get rid of them.
Wait, you do get?
You'd think it would come with time, but it kind of just hasn't.
Oh wow! But that makes it exhilarating, doesn't it? That makes you feel alive. That's sort of the point.
Kinda, but then when you fail the run, you feel dead inside.
Oh my god. Did streaming help you personally? This is the last question. Both of these were by Frag. Just so that people
What do you mean by
know.
personally?
Yeah, well, let's maybe put it in this context. Caffrey is one of the biggest surf streamers of all time with 11. No, I might be wrong. 11,000 followers on Twitch. Does
Um,
he know? He doesn't even know that's how big he is.
uh,
Caffrey.
okay, relax.
No, no, you're big
I don't know.
because you're at
It's somewhere around there.
14K. You're partnered on Twitch. You and Virtual got partnered at the same time in a very tough Twitch environment. This must have been COVID when everybody was streaming, right? Super, super competitive.
Yeah, to a
Yeah.
degree. Not in surf as such. I don't think there was that many people streaming surf. But Twitch is always competitive with new people coming up.
I mean, you're competing against people like Virtual who have teams and capital. It's really tough.
I mean, what that guy has done for himself is amazing. Like the other day, or the other week, I was watching him play some new Trackmania map, and he peaked at like 28,000 viewers, and he was the most viewed English streamer at the time,
Oh,
which is insane.
oh my God. Can I tell you, though, he went through hell to get there, and he has a very specific set of talents. It's not luck.
I mean, unfortunately, as well, I think I heard Beagle say this on stream before, like the other day. Trackmania is just, it's just more popular, and it's, I don't know if it's, I don't play it as much. I'm not gonna say it's a better game, but it's definitely just more popular and like easier in a sense, just because there's more people that are gonna watch Trackmania than they're gonna watch Surf. A lot of the people that watch Trackmania kind of come over to Surf. Like, there's a decent amount of Trackmania streamers that raid me and know of Surf. Yeah, like Chroma, Chroma, I think raids me every now and then, and he knows of Surf.
There are parallels. Beetle has basically said that Surf is either Trackmania without a car or Trackmania is Surf with a car, right? The parallels
But
are
they're extremely similar.
like time trial. They don't have save lock, do they? But they have some kind of you start from a checkpoint.
They have, yeah, you start from like the most recent checkpoint, and you can see like your time if you have a certain plugin. I think like you can see what your best time will have been. I don't even know if it's a plugin. I don't know if it's just built in by default. But yeah, they have. It's practice, but you can't go back. So if you do the prior part bad and you accidentally hit the next checkpoint, you're fucked. You have to restart and do it again.
Well, I mean, and on the other hand, they have so many systems, Cup of the Day, built-in tournaments, an actual esports league, right? It's just they've got all the bells and whistles that Surf doesn't currently have.
I'm just lazy. Like a lot of the YouTube videos on my channel I haven't made, like other people have made. Like probably like the best quality videos on my channel are the Krillington offered to make me when I got 150 WRs, he offered to make it like a series, which is pretty much just like all my WRs uploaded in parts.
Keep it. And you have every single round from your tournament Surfs Upside Down 2, which you hosted.
I think that was also Kreeling. I think Niken recorded them. Oh wait. Actually, I think Kreelington may have just taken the VODs and just cut them up for me and uploaded them. Kreelington's actually the homie. And Taiki.
Absolutely. We still have, I'm sorry to derail us, we still have viewer questions. We've got a lot of them, actually. From Rhino. Apart from save lock and turn mines, what command or feature has helped you to improve the most? Oh, we talked about this a little bit. You definitely mentioned these two.
I've touched on it a little bit. I think, like replays, being able to see what someone else does and maybe question yourself as to why that's better than what you're doing. And your speed. I know that's kind of turbines, but like your speed being able to like lower it just gives you more control.
Huge for me, man. When I figured out you could do that, I instantly became smoother. But it's definitely not like learning how to actually surf. Oh, I'm going to ask you later about what you think the best world record of the year is. But before we do that, Koga73, mapper gathering organizer extraordinaire asks, what is your favorite kind of map?
I think stage one is like 2-stage maps that are like Azround is an example where it kind of just picks up. There's 2 stages, so you can grind the CPs, I guess, but if you want to do a run, it's technically like a linear. Like those type of maps, I think, are my favorite.
Goated opinion. Your top 3 map picks. Let's just do top 1. What is your favorite map of all time?
I could do top 3.
You could do top 3? Hit it.
Eternal Beggar, Desolate, Not So Quick.
Oh, Eternal Beta, absolute classic. Two-stage map, stage linear, just beautiful. It's a vibe. It doesn't use crazy textures or anything like that, but it's a total otherworldly feeling. Surf Desolate. Why Surf
Is
Desolate?
again a
Because it's
stage linear.
stage linear? What do
It
you...
looks nice. It's like it's easy to play because it's Maxwell, I guess. And I think it flows really well.
The obvious question, Caffrey, when Omnific world record?
I gotta go.
You'll give it a go? You done it in the past. You've seen it.
I said I've gotta go.
Oh my god.
I'm not doing that.
What?
Fuck
Wait,
that.
really? Is it way too hard to beat Roldar?
It's not. It's not like I want to go for a better run than I can be bothered landing. I don't want to be the guy that like minus 0.5s Omnific WR. I just don't have that type of motivation anymore.
And it's such a long ass map to run for that long. Ugh. It's the same thing as Vast. I think Vast is really cool, but you would have to spend 5 minutes per attempt, even if you were incredibly consistent. Which is just it's too much to ask of people. Damn. Favorite game mode? Besides Surf. I already have the answer. Caffrey, is your favorite game mode Tricks?
Yeah. It's the only other one I really played, but Tricks is definitely fun and underrated, and people should check it out.
Such a cool game mode, combining aspects of Surf and B-Hop on top of this really unique and like sort of modern concept of boosting your teammate in all sorts of different ways with the flashes, with the head stuff. What has your experience with that been? Do you have some world records in Tricks? Are you a good Trick server? Tricks player?
I'm not. I'm pretty average at Tricks. I have a WR at the moment, but it's not really all that played. Yeah, but the community is so small that I think you'll definitely find, like, if you're serious about wanting to get better at Tricks, people will help you.
Dope. So you think you could just pop in and be like, hey, I'm looking to learn how to fly?
Not like always,
Mm.
but like, let's say you joined a server and it was username playing. I don't think username would try and help. And a lot of other people probably would as well.
At least they'd answer like one or two of your questions. Maybe they won't give you the walkthrough. Last question from Koga. We're about to finish out these viewer questions. How do you choose between what maps you want to beat and which ones you leave for the others?
Honestly, it's kind of toxic. Lately, or like the last couple of years, I used to just join the server, do RR top 10, and let's say Xbar got rank 8 on Flow, I just thought, alright, I'll go for Flow WR.
You're calling Expert out, bro.
No, it's just like an example I can think of. I do it to like everyone. And I just go through my like, I guess my rank 2s and rank 3s and see what I can be bothered to play. I don't always, like there's maps I'll learn and I'll go for WR again, and then I'll get bored and I'll drop them and find something else. It's really random how I pick maps.
We got a few wrap-up questions, which I think are just, for me, the most interesting things. And hopefully to really show like the impact that you've had on the community and had on Surf. One of the biggest things you've done was an interview and a surfing guide with this woman from ESL, where you were both interviewed and you did this tutorial. I thought it was incredible. You thought you were a little bit embarrassed by what you did. I didn't think it was a problem. What happened? How did they reach out to you? How did you get involved in that one specifically?
So I think one of the like video editors reached out to Levi, who then reached out to me like a month or two later, and I made some runs for them. And then further down the line, the same guy reached out to both of us, I think, and was just like, either of you would want to do this. I don't think Levi didn't want to. I kind of didn't want to because I was nervous, but I said fuck it because it'd probably be good for like exposure. And it was like really nerve-wracking because I obviously knew it was going to be shown to a bunch of people. I'm also just not the best at teaching people how to surf, so trying to coach someone new on how to surf was also nerve-wracking.
But your chemistry with her was great. That's what was really good about it. You seemed relaxed. You seemed like you knew what you were talking about. And she seemed to have a lot of fun. Did you experience the growth in your brand or in your Twitch after you did that specific one?
Not really. I think in terms of ESL, I probably got like a few extra viewers, but the most thing I got was just followers because people people were watching a major. I'm live at the time, and it says like, I don't know, Surf by Caffrey on Twitch. People will come and follow, and maybe they come back, maybe they type, but I didn't really like notice an increase in viewers.
Damn, that sucks.
Just followers.
But that
That's all right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how people's perception of it is. I don't know if they see like under a video 100,000 views and 100,000 subscribers versus just two. I'm sure that having a big number helps, and 14K is a hella big number. Then a little bit more recently, OniPixel, one of the biggest CS:GO and CS:GO item trader streamers, had you on. How did that happen? And then what was it like being on his massive stream and having a great time?
He reached out to me on Twitter and was just like, "Yo, would you be down to teach me surf one day?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then we got the time down, and he went live, and I was like, "Can I stream it?" And he was like, "Sure." And it was, again, I was really nervous because I don't like talking to new people because I am awkward. But it ended up being really fun. Like he has a really good vibe to him. He's like he's loud, but he's also he's very charismatic. Like he didn't make it awkward for me. Like he tried to make me comfortable. He tried to. It was fun.
Do you have a world record on this map right here?
No, I don't. It's like a tier 1 map. I don't have too many WRs on tier 1 maps.
Why not? They are too difficult, or?
I mean, in a sense, yeah, they're very contested. So the WRs on them are very good.
Okay. Do you think we can get a world record now? Like I know how to do it. Like if you give me the right instructions, I think like I can execute it well.
See what you got.
Okay. I will just start, and maybe you just watch a little bit, and okay. Like I know what's up. Like you have to go on the things and you just slide, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So on the right side of the ramp, you want to hold A.
Wait.
And on the left,
can you
the right side, you want to hold A. So the side you're looking at, you want to hold A on it.
Wait, Caffrey. With A and D, right? And then W to move forward, I assume?
No, so it's just A. So if you surf on this right side of the ramp, just hold A for a second.
Okay, I was trolling, I know how to surf. Hey. Oh, I did a little trolling troll, okay? Hey, let's move to stage 2.
Okay.
Watch this. I'm telling you, I may beat the...
Shush.
Hey, you may should have chosen some tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 maps. Hey. Okay, watch this.
It's not too late. It was really nice to be able to stream something that wasn't focused on me being the center point. Like every time I stream, I'm going for WR, and I feel like if I'm not doing that, people don't want to watch.
Right.
But it was really fun to have like a couple hundred people just watch me watching this other guy surf and trying to teach him.
But it was nerve-wracking, and then he got you into that place where you could really enjoy it and do this really new thing for yourself. That's fucking great, my man. That sounds like it was a W. Are there any other opportunities on the horizon that we should be looking out for like that?
I think it's unpredictable. So I don't think anyone at the start of the year probably predicted Dizzy playing CSS surf for like up 2 months straight without any breaks. No one predicted Justin playing and streaming either.
Yeah.
I think there'll definitely be opportunities like that in the future for other people. Maybe myself, I don't know. It just depends on... I don't know, I guess it's just... I don't even know how they would have found the game mode at the time. It wasn't like it was being super advertised.
Really big question, okay? What does the future of surf look like for you?
Nothing too crazy. Probably just a bit of what I'm doing now. I think I'll eventually probably quit. Unfortunately. Everyone's going to go eventually. I've been playing it for a while. But I like streaming. And at the moment, I don't have other games that interest me. So at the moment, I'll still be surfing for a while.
Do you think that you'll end up doing what a lot of other people did and just play tricks? Does that game grab you a little bit more than surf right now?
I don't think I'll ever main tricks, but at the moment, I'm having more fun in tricks than I am in surf, yeah. But I don't play tricks that often. I play it like every couple of days at the moment. But it's fun. It's like it's new. It's not like new, but it's new compared to surf.
And it's something else to do, right? You've played every single surf map except for the ones that come out. And then this is like a totally different thing to experience. What would you like others to do? Now, this is a harder question. Are there things you wish the community was doing that they're not doing right now to make it better or more exposed or anything of that nature?
It's just playing more, but you can't force people to play. Like just streaming, and I guess kind of what you're doing would be like the most beneficial things. I guess would just be streaming and pumping out YouTube content. But I can't really tell other people to do that because I really do that myself. I'd be kind of a hypocrite. But I think that is what is probably best for the future of surf. Is just content being released on like a consistent basis.
Did you ever have interest in creating YouTube content?
Not really, because I just can't be bothered learning how to edit videos.
It sucks. It sucks. Sometimes it's amazing to be creative, and other times it's like this thing is not work. This thing will not track, and now it looks like shit, and there's no way for me to fix it. That's what sucks.
That's also demoralizing because I only have 5 uploads. I'm not trying to sit there waiting to upload a video for that long.
But if you did, bro, with 2K subscribers and a brand, like you would see instant results. I don't know what kind of views you would get, but it could be really crazy. It depends on like what kind of like one thing that's really simple is just you write a script, you record the audio, and then you put footage behind it. That's the basic way to do it. And it can get huge. That's what a lot of YouTubers do, like once or twice a week, to get hundreds of thousands of views. But it depends on the niche, and it depends on your brand and all that. No, I know. It's really tough. I have one little last wrap-up question. I think it's going to be really wholesome. A way to really wrap up your story. Who are the 3 most important people for you in your surfing career? And why do they impact you in such a way?
I think Levi, because he was just someone to compete with over the past couple of years. And I feel like we're decent friends. A bit of a cop-out, but obviously my Twitch community, because I don't know if I would have stayed surfing for as long as I did if I wasn't streaming Twitch, and just having their constant support when I go live and just, they come and hang is nice. And I guess third would be Trufflecopter, because I don't know if I would have committed to surf like I did if I hadn't seen Truffle streaming surf and stuff like that.
And Levi is an interesting answer because people, I think, assume that you guys are very good friends, that you worked together a lot, especially because you both hold like more than half of all the world. No, do you together hold more than half the world records?
Nah, it's like I think it's like 700 maps, and we probably hold like 260 of them.
And you don't go for do you have an agreement that you don't go for each other's world records?
Like somewhat. Like, I mean, I'm not going to try and kid myself. If Levi wanted all my WRs, he could get them. Like you mentioned the tier list earlier, the only thing that unquestionably should be on everybody's tier list is Levi is better than everyone else. Everyone else is debatable. Levi is not.
Well, what about in the context of their time period, like Sinsa? Do you think that Sinsa was better than Levi is now? I know
for me, it's not comparable because I wasn't around for Sinsa. I wasn't around for Stinky as much. I was around for like some of Stinky, but not like his earlier part. But as far as anyone in surf, like the skill ceiling is as high as it's ever been because of Levi.
For some reason, I thought he had hundreds of. At some point, he had over 150 world records, right?
I think he probably had 100 WRs at some point. I'm not quite Sinsa?
No, Levi.
I'm not sure what Levi peaked at. He probably had 100 WRs at some point. He's never really grinded surf like I have, though. That's the thing. He is as good as he is on such little hours. If he had good internet, if he had a better setup, if he had like X amount of things that other people probably already have, and he's already the best. Like he was already arguably the best on a laptop. He won a tournament on a laptop where his game crashed on some of the maps because his laptop couldn't run them.
But how? You're saying he understands surf at a basic level and
he's
what
just
that means.
Better. Like if I understood what he knew, I would be better. He's just better. Like Austin and stuff, I think have spent time trying to like analyze what it is that he just does different. but I just don't know what it is. He's just better.
That's not satisfying. Give us the answer, man. You know it. You know it. You have 183 world records. Here, let me ask this question.
My advice is just play a lot. That's all I did. It's just play a lot.
Do you remember how did you both start at the same time? Is that incorrect?
So I think he started in 2017 or 2018, something like that, and then moved over to CSS eventually. So I think I'd stopped playing CS:GO at the time he started playing, so we weren't really too interactive with each other there.
But then you see him in the KSF Discord. Like, you can look at his messages. And there was a different Levi at the time in KSF already. And then this was new Levi, who very quickly became one of the, other than you, the most recognized name in all of Surf. No, but I understand what you're saying. There's something he understands fundamentally about the game. Orson is another one of those people you think who really understands the game at a basic level.
Yeah, I think like Orson understands. I think he tried to understand Levi more than anyone else because I think it interests him. I think I had heard something about like Orson and Emil trying to understand what he did differently or something like that. I don't know. I feel like everyone probably does because you're gonna look at who the best player is and try and replicate what they do.
What is the difference in style between how you do it and how he does it? Do you know?
Levi just has more control.
He's just more precise about. Because I mean, like, you know more maps. That's what's crazy. You're saying he could just come on and grind it all, but he doesn't.
100%. It wouldn't take him that long.
It sounds like it doesn't bother you, and in fact, that you are one of the people championing this idea because you actually believe it.
Yeah, it doesn't like. I think it bothers me a bit when it's other people that isn't Levi, but I think as far as accomplishments go, I think I am the GOAT of Surf. I think that's a fair assumption to make and not egotistical. But as far as skill level goes and overall GOAT status, I think it's Levi. And I don't have a problem with people also thinking that.
That is not a bold claim. It's the breadth of your knowledge and also your impact on the community that you think makes you the GOAT, in addition to your skill. Your streaming, for
I think
example,
just the fact that I've had the most WRs anyone's had by far. The most points is controversial because there's been changes over the years. I can understand people arguing that, so that's fine. But I think if you've had the most WRs anyone's ever had at a certain time, and you've also been rank 1 for 3 years, I think it's hard to argue.
Because I mean, if somebody was so good, they could just come on and start grinding all the shit. But nobody's quite good enough to do that right now, other than maybe Levi.
It takes more than just being good, though. Like with with where I have put myself, you have to have like motivation. Like it's not like a couple day job. I think I spoke about it with one of my close friends like a while ago, where it's like rank 1 when I got it was just like it wasn't that far out of reach. Whereas now, if you want to get rank 1, you have to be more committed. You have to like, it's not just you have to be good. You have to play a lot.
It's you have created a big gap, and maybe in some coming years we'll see somebody attempt it. Do you think that would also
Maybe
sort of motivate you then to like get back on your grind and start looking at Levi records and stuff like that and getting outside of your comfort zone?
Probably not. I'm getting older, and Surf is a young person's game, honestly.
Oh, it really is, man. Who has watched a new monitor? Wait, why do I not? Caffrey, Levi.
That's Tux.
Oh, wait a minute. Was he always rank 5?
I think he.
Oh, that's top world record. I'm looking at the wrong one. That's top world record.
Yeah, no, it's Tux. I think he got a 2K 240 Hz monitor. So we'll see where that goes.
I have 280, dude. It made me nauseous. I wanted to puke. Never, dude. Never. 140 is enough. I don't think anybody needs to go over 140. By the way, don't fucking double it.
I'm on 240. I like it.
But how was the jump from 144 to 240?
It wasn't as noticeable as 60 to 144, but I do notice it if I go back to 144.
That's a good thing, okay? From 60 to 280 was like a different. I don't think it made me a better surfer one little bit, but it definitely makes it look more satisfying. Oh god, what did I just do? Caffrey, we have exhausted every single of the questions we had for today. You gave some goddamn amazing answers, and we learned a lot about you. If you enjoyed this podcast, first of all, please go check out
yeah, man.
Caffrey.
Thank you for having me.
No, absolutely no problem. Caffrey on twitch.tv/Caffrey. YouTube may also be YouTube/Caffrey/C/Caffrey. Look out for
Something
this.
like that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll put it in the comments. It's in the comments or something like that. Also, player profile should be coming out in a week or two. Be on the lookout for that. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck sliding those trials. Caffrey, good job.